Have you ever gone to your Korean partner and asked them, 이 점프수트 어때? 퉁퉁해 보이게 해? 그리고 살 좀 쪘어. Okay. Hello friends and family, this is Megan Moon, aka childhood 미국 사람입니다, and welcome to our baby daycare place, which is our home. Our whole living room is baby area. Yeah, are you enjoying your food? So, you know, when you get married and you move in together and everything is so lovey-dovey, even their farts smell great. Then reality comes, smacks you across the face, and then you guys realize, oh, we've got lots of things we need to talk and communicate about and fix these issues and learn how to live with each other, etc. Well, that process, of course, requires a lot of talking and working out stuff, whether you're from the same country or not. But when you're from different countries, there's an added element of the cultural differences up in there. So I thought I would keep you from being blindsided, and I thought today we would talk about some random things that I find can cause you to like fight or get into disagreements when you are with your Korean partner. Okay, so the first one is communication issues. Have you ever gone to your Korean partner and asked them, 이 점프수트 어때? 퉁퉁해 보이게 해? 그리고 살 좀 쪘어. Okay. Well, that's how Korean people are with certain things. They're very like blunt and they tell the truth, especially when it's things that are factual. I personally appreciate that sort of bluntness just because you actually get to hear the truth and you can find certain things that you need to like fix or things you could do better on, etc. And I appreciate that because I feel like Korea is never gonna be like really woke in the sense where like people's feelings are more important than like the facts. And I think that that's a really good thing, really helpful. It can kind of take you aback a little bit because we're more used to people sugarcoating like certain things, but they certainly don't. So don't go to people trying to seek validation and ask them how something looks or how you did, because if you really didn't do a good job, they're gonna tell you. Just know you're gonna get a good dose of reality in that sense, and people are not going to like try and work around your feelings in that case. Yeah. Okay. But on the flip side, when it comes to expressing negative emotion about things that they feel, you know, in the relationship, then I feel like they're not really as good at that. They tend to not be as direct when they're trying to share their needs or wants or expectations in a relationship, setting up boundaries and stuff like that, whereas us Western folks tend to be a little bit more direct in that sense, so it could cause hurt feelings kind of on both sides. But in Korea, they kind of just expect you to like catch on to stuff more. It's more of like a use your social brain to try to like catch on to stuff as opposed to just saying it directly. And so the Korean language is even set up like that. It's set up to be where the listener has to use a bit of context. In English, you know, when you make a sentence, you always have to use the subject and the object, right? When you're talking about someone's doing something to someone or someone else. But in Korea, it's just verb. That's it. And the listener has to figure out, is it so-and-so doing it to so-and-so? Or are you doing it to so-and-so? Am I doing it to so-and-so? Are we doing it to a thing or object, a person? Like, who's doing what, right? So we get into so many misunderstandings because Moon will just say a verb, and I'm then left to figure out who's saying it or who did it. So I always have to ask him. I have to say, hey, can you please say 누구 이 가 을 let's use these subject and object markers, please, sir. Because so many times I've done the wrong thing or thought that he said the wrong thing because of that. So if your partner is not an English speaker, then just know you're gonna have to ask for clarification instead of assuming. I always assume something different than what he said because I didn't grow up in Korea, so I don't have that, you know, brain power to know. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like if I walked in a room in English and just said, eat. Everyone would be like, okay, do you want to eat? Are you asking if we ate? Like, what are you saying? Like, it just doesn't work, right? So that's how I feel when a lot of Korean people talk to me like that. Anyways, I ramble on. Moving on to the next one. So the next way that you might fight with your Korean partner is over climate control. Have you ever gone to a Korean household in the wintertime with a sweater on, being dressed nice and warm for the outside, only to get inside of their house and it's hot as balls and you're like sweating real bad and it's so hot, the floor heat is on so high that you feel nauseous? Well, I've been there, because for me, in Korea, there's no like heater where like heat is blowing out of the walls. It only comes from like floor heating. The floor is nice and warm. It's nice, it's great. But they have that thing cranked up to 1,000. And that's different from what I'm used to in America, where we don't really use the heater that much. Like in the house, we wear like sweaty or sweatshirts, or we'll wear like a robe or something. We like warm, soft like blankets and stuff. Snuggies, you know, that kind of thing. On the flip side, in the summer, us Western folks, at least where I'm from in my experience, we like to use the AC to keep the house at a nice cool temperature. Like, we don't want to be hot and sweating in our own house. But in Korea, a lot of times the AC is just used to take the edge off the heat, so it's more like bearable. So it'll be like hot, everyone's sweating, the AC will be turned on for like 10-20 minutes tops, and then it's turned off again. Same thing if you work like in a public building. Like a lot of public school teachers in Korea can attest to this. They don't leave the AC on all day. Like when I worked, when I very first came to Korea, I worked at a public school, and you get AC for like an hour a day, and the teachers will like negotiate for like more of that. So we're just like sweating, it's hot, get AC for a little bit, and then that's it. And another thing that you might argue about is when to open the windows to air out the house. This is a huge one. Like for us, when it gets like fall or something, fall, and the cool air starts coming in, and that's when we open the windows to air out the house, right? Because like you get nice cool air. Everyone puts on a hoodie, sweatpants, or grab their snuggie or like micro fleece or microfiber blanket, sit on the couch, get some hot chocolate or some tea or just whatever hot beverage you prefer, and you have a good old time with the nice cool air coming in. But in Korea, they think that cool air makes you sick. So if I try and open the window when the weather's nice and cool outside, it's like, no girl, we're gonna get sick. I'm like, sicknesses and colds come from bacteria and viruses, okay? Not from cool air. So when do you think that a lot of Korean people tend to keep the windows open? In the summer when it's hot and humid. It'll be like 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside and like 100% humidity, and they're like, oh, we gotta open the windows and air out the house. The house gets so hot and humid. I'm like, why wouldn't we just do it when the air temperature is just a nice temperature? I don't get it. Anyway, so basically in Korea, they're just gonna keep the house hot all the time. It's just gonna be hot in the summer, hot. Winter, hot. It's gotta be hot. So the next thing you will definitely get into some disagreements with your Korean partner about is money. But these are some of the common things that I've heard talking to my friends and my experience that you might have a little bit of disagreement about how to spend money. So anywho, so in Korea, there's like this thing where like your social appearance is really important. Of course, it makes sense because they're a more collectivist society, right? So as a result, if you're in a particular tax bracket, you make a certain amount of money, it's kind of expected that you're gonna live a certain lifestyle, right? You gotta like, if you got money, people know you got money, why are you driving that car, huh? If you got all this money, why you didn't buy your girl an expensive $5,000 bag? Like apparently like there's that exists here. So the biggest thing that a lot of people get into like arguments about with their Western partners is like how much to spend on like weddings and parties and stuff like that. So I've met some people who just said, you know what, we're not having a wedding because it's causing too many issues, so no wedding. We're just gonna meet with the family or something like that. But in Korea, it's more of an issue if you are a Western woman with a Korean man, because men kind of have this pressure to like impress people with their money and to show like the wealth that they got. And a lot of people do it even they don't have it. They take out loans or use their credit cards and find themselves in debt because they're trying to like impress people. I feel like in Korea, what people think of you is like very important, like to the point where people will kind of even harm themselves in order to look a certain way in front of people, especially in terms of like money and stuff. And they tend to want praise a lot. I feel like they get a lot of their validation from people. So like if you've ever dated in Korea, you'll notice like your guy friend will do stuff so that your friends can say, wow, what a good boyfriend he is, or wow, what a good husband he is, because they kind of like thrive off of that. And I mean, of course, everyone wants to be told good job, but I just feel like here it's like a lot more like extreme in the sense that people really need validation from others. Yeah, boom. And if anybody thinks like anything even slightly negative about them, it really bothers them a lot more than it does us, to the point where it seems worth it for them to like go into a little bit of debt to have this like special event that people just think so highly of you and think, oh, you must have so much money and stuff. Yeah, so if you're a woman with a guy, just know there will be times where they want to like spend a whole bunch of excess money that you may or may not have to like impress family members or whoever. Yeah, and it's something that you have to talk about and like really put like a budget. Like, this is your budget for impressing people. What we're not gonna do is use our credit cards to do so, okay? So the next one is kind of funny. It's something that a lot of Korean people complain about their Western like partners about, and that is the fact that we have a lot of stuff. I didn't think that we had a lot of stuff until I came to Korea. If you go in a Korean household, you'll notice that it's very, I feel like they kind of live more minimalist kind of lifestyles. They don't carry a lot of stuff. Their walls aren't like super decorated. Whereas like if you go into a lot of Western houses, like if there's a shelf, there's going to be photos, there's going to be a plant or two, a souvenir or something is going to be decorated in those shelves. But in Korean houses, a lot of times, not so much. And just in general, I think we buy a lot more stuff and we have a lot more memorabilia that are like important to us. And your Korean partner will always be trying to throw it away. They'll be like, you haven't touched this in a year. I'm like, this is a souvenir from our trip. It has special meaning. Me and Moon went to hang out with some of our friends. It was another couple. He and my friend's partner bonded over the fact that their ladies just have so much stuff stored up everywhere and like keep on to so much stuff and like don't throw it away. And I was like, Mr. Moon, that's why we have addicts. So every once in a while, Moon is like, okay, this closet that has these memorabilia or whatever in it, can we go through and just get rid of some of them? So I've learned to just let go of some of them and only keep the super, super, super most important ones that spark joy, so that Mr. Moon doesn't go crazy. Okay, that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's chaotic. What are you doing playing with the toy? See, we almost made it the whole time without any toys talking. But anyway, we're at the very end. So if you have any other questions or anything for me, just let me know. So speaking of baby's first birthdays, we are having a huge first birthday celebration with a reasonable price when my parents will come from America. So if there are any video ideas that you want me to do with my dad and with my family, you know, let me know. They want to film stuff. It's really cute. My dad's kind of like jealous that my in-laws are in videos like with the babies, but then they can't because they're in America. So he's like, I'm going to be in all the videos. I'm like, okay, sir. So if you guys have any videos that you would like Mr. Carboin to be in, let me know. Are there any like daddy-daughter tags or something, or like husband-father or something? I don't know. Anyway, you guys let me know down below. So if you like this video and like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube page, which is down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, now Snapchat, on YouTube, no more. Like me on Facebook, and I will see ya.